McCain does have experience battling cancer. He had 4 melanomas removed between 1993 and 2002. And Don, we're told it was actually Lindsey Graham who noticed that McCain seemed run down lately and urged him to go get checked.
Nancy, what would happen if Senator McCain did decide to step down from office? Would someone replace him? How would all that work?
Well, the governor of Arizona would have to appoint someone in the short term, and then there would be, at a certain point, a special election. The big question mark right now, however, is whether McCain is going to get his treatment at home in Phoenix or here in Washington. If he's treated here in Washington, can he work at least part of the time? What is his condition right now? That's a question that a lot of senators are asking, because they know that as much as he loves being home in Arizona, that his passion is serving his state and his country here on Capitol Hill. That's what keeps him going. That is what inspires him. And they firmly believe that that is what would sort of keep his spirits up as he undergoes this treatment, if he's able to work.
And there's one thing we know for sure is you never underestimate John McCain. Let's talk health care for a second here. We also have a new CBO score that says 22 million more people will be uninsured by 2026 with the latest repeal and replacement bill. Do you think that's going to influence lawmakers' efforts?
Well, that bill was already mostly dead, as they might say, in The Princess Bride. So it's not clear how much influence this new CBO score will have. What the Congressional Budget Office was looking at was version 2 of the Senate Republicans' Obamacare replacement plan. There were a few tweaks to it. It was a little bit more generous when it came to opioid funding. It kept some of Obamacare's taxes in place. There were a few other changes. But at the end of the day, what the CBO determined was that the impact on consumers really wasn't going to change all that much. You still had those 22 million fewer Americans who would be insured, and that is a very troubling number to a lot of moderate Republicans in particular. And beyond that, the impact on premiums, which is a big goal for Republicans. They'd like to bring premiums down, but the premium numbers were not that encouraging. The CBO found that while the Republican plan would bring premiums down slowly, about 10 years from now, the premiums would be about 20% lower than they would be under Obamacare. But at the same time, the tax credits to help lower income Americans afford those premiums would be less generous as well, and deductibles might be higher. So the possibility that people might be paying more rather than less is a pretty large one.
Well, this latest score, of course, doesn't include Senator Ted Cruz's amendment. When do you think we're going to see that scoring from the CBO?
Well, the Congressional Budget Office said that scoring that amendment would take about a month, because it's just something that they haven't looked at before. So they have to figure out how they're going to analyze the effects. Just to refresh your memory, what this Cruz amendment would do would be to say to insurers, in any given market, you can offer some cheaper, more bare bones plans to healthy Americans, as long as people with pre-existing conditions or people who are sick still have access to plans with more coverage that has all the features that were mandated by Obamacare. And what Cruz and some other Republicans like about this proposal is they say it creates more choices. People who don't want really big full coverage plans, they want to spend less, they have options. But what the insurers have said, and what Democrats have argued, is that the insurance market just doesn't work that way. You can't have one pot of people who are sick and paying one amount and one pot of people who are healthy and paying another amount. In fact, the insurance companies said it's unworkable. And so there are a lot of people waiting to see what the CBO thinks of this construct, but it looks like we're going to have to wait a little longer.
Yeah, as the president discovered, this healthcare thing is hard.
It's complicated.
Nancy Cordes, it is, on Capitol Hill. Thank you.
You're welcome.